Welcome, dear dream traveler. You are listening to Sleep Hypnosis, a sanctuary of calm, where stories unfold like lanterns in the dark, guiding you into rest, into stillness, into dreams. If this gentle path feels comforting to you, I invite you to subscribe, to return whenever you wish to wander again, whenever your heart longs for peace. Now, let us begin. Take a deep breath in, slowly. Feel the air filling your lungs, expanding gently. And now, exhale, as though you are releasing the dust of the day. Another breath in, steady, calm, and let it flow out again, unhurried, like a tide receding from the shore. Feel your shoulders soften, your arms resting at your sides, your body settling into the surface beneath you. There is nothing to do now, nowhere to be, except here. And here is where the dream begins. In your mind's eye, a doorway appears. It is tall and ornate, framed with dark wood, a brass handle polished by countless hands across the years. The door does not belong to any single building you know, and yet, as you gaze upon it, there is a sense of familiarity, as though it has been waiting for you all along. You reach for the handle, cool and smooth beneath your palm. As you push it open, a breath of evening air greets you. You step through, and suddenly you are standing upon a cobblestone street. The world around you is old New York, not the city of glowing skyscrapers and neon, but a quieter city, wrapped in gaslight and shadow. The year could be 1890, perhaps 1910. Time blurs in dreamscape, and all that matters is the atmosphere of memory. The lamps glow golden, casting halos upon the stones. The air smells faintly of roasted chestnuts, of coal smoke drifting from chimneys, and of rain-soaked wood from market stalls, recently closed. Above you, the sky is a deep velvet, pierced with stars, as though the city has softened its pulse, allowing you to walk unhurried through a version of itself long vanished, yet alive again for you tonight. Somewhere nearby you hear the clock pulls a carriage rolling slowly down the street, its lantern swaying with each turn of the wheel. You pause, listening, the sound echoing gently, fading into the distance like a memory half-remembered. The buildings rise around you, brick, bough, and stone, their windows glowing with warm amber light. Curtains flutter slightly as unseen figures move inside. Families gathered around supper tables, a piano playing softly in a parlor, a woman humming a lullaby to a child. These sounds do not reach you sharply. They are softened, as if heard, through the fabric of time, muffled yet distinct, like whispers in a dream. You walk slowly, your feet light upon the cobblestones. Every step brings a gentle crunch, a rhythm that lulls your body deeper into relaxation. Step by step, you feel lighter, as though the weight of the waking world is falling behind. Left on the other side of the door, you pass a bakery on the corner, its windows fogged with warmth from within. A faint fragrance drifts out, the sweetness of fresh bread, the buttery hint of pastries cooling on racks. For a moment you pause, imagining the bakers in their aprons, dusting flour from their hands, arranging loaves in neat rows as the city outside grows quiet. Further along, you glimpse an apothecary shop. Its shelves gleam with glass jars filled with herbs and powders, mysterious liquids catching the glow of the lamps. A brass bell above the door jingles faintly, though no one enters, as though the shop is waiting, suspended in a moment that never ends. The deeper you wander, the more the city seems to welcome you, each street unfolding like a page in an ancient book. The night air is cool upon your skin, but gentle, a breeze that carries the scent of iron rails, of distant rivers, and of dreams layered into stone. Somewhere far off, you hear the faint cry of a newspaper boy, his voice rising and falling like a chant, words too soft to decipher, yet carrying the energy of life as it once was. Every detail blends together, a lullaby of senses, sights, scents, sounds, guiding you deeper into calm, into the slow heartbeat of old New York. And as you walk, you feel as though the city itself is walking with you, leading you toward hidden corners, toward secret streets, toward places where memory and imagination entwine. You walk onward, your footsteps soft, each one echoing faintly against the cobblestones. The city breathes around you, slower than the city you once knew, as though time itself has hushed, allowing you to hear the smaller, quieter sounds. A lantern flickers above a doorway, its flame swaying inside glass, casting shadows that stretch and shrink upon the brick walls. The glass is mottled with age, and through its golden glow you see specks of dust dancing gently, like fireflies caught in eternal suspension. Across the street, a narrow alley invites you. It is lined with laundry strung overhead, sheets swaying faintly in the night breeze. You pause, hearing the drip of water from a pipe, a rhythm slow and steady, like the ticking of an old clock. The alley smells faintly of soap and starch, mixed with the lingering aroma of cooked stew, and as you step closer, you hear the muffled laughter of neighbors gathered inside. The sound is distant, as though you are listening through layers of time, yet it warms the air, wrapping you in the sense of community, of lives lived close together, woven like threads in a tapestry. You move back to the main street, where horse-drawn carriages roll slowly past. The wheels creak, the leather harness jingles, and the horses exhale clouds of white into the chill air. You feel the rhythm of their passing, steady, hypnotic, and your body mirrors it, sinking deeper, swaying inward, toward the softness of rest. Now you find yourself before a row of brownstone houses, their steps lined with iron railings, their doors painted in deep greens, burgundies, and rich blues. Gas lamps flicker on each stoop, casting soft light on the polished wood. Somewhere inside, you hear the faint melody of a violin, its notes rising and falling in a tune both haunting and tender. You pause to listen. The sound floats through the night air, gentle as a sigh, a song that seems to recognize you, to call you deeper into memory. You continue your walk, passing the brownstones, one by one, until you reach the quiet stretch of a small park iron. Fences frame its edges, and inside, tall elms reach upward, their bare branches laced against the starlit sky. The park is hushed, but as you walk along its path, you notice the faint scent of damp earth, of leaves pressed flat beneath the night. In pour the center, an ornate fountain stands still, its water frozen mid-motion in the dream. You lean close, and though the water does not fall, you can almost hear its music, a phantom trickle, like a memory of sound embedded within the stone. Here, time slows even further. The fountain glows faintly in the lamplight, and you find yourself breathing in rhythm with its stillness, your inhales long, your exhales steady, until your whole body feels attuned to the silence of the park. Beyond the park, the street narrows again. Here shop windows display curiosities, a hat-maker's shop with rows of elegant shapes, their ribbons catching the glow of lanterns, a bookstore with towers of novels leaning like friends in conversation, and a jeweler's window where small watches tick softly in unison, their tiny hands turning, their rhythm echoing the heartbeat of the city itself. You pause before the bookstore. The glass is clouded slightly, but through it you glimpse a man in a waistcoat, his spectacles perched, low, arranging books by lamplight. The smell of old paper drifts outward, familiar, calming, as though each book contains not just stories, but pieces of time, waiting for someone to awaken them. And so you stand there, your breath slow, your heart soft, watching the quiet rhythm by of a forgotten New York night, knowing the city holds more secrets still, waiting just ahead, ready to unfold as your journey continues. You leave the quiet of the bookstore window behind, your footsteps carrying you toward a wider avenue. Here, the stones of the street glisten faintly, as though a light rain has passed earlier in the evening. The lamplight reflects upon them, each step sending ripples of gold beneath your feet. The air grows cooler, carrying the scent of water, of salt and iron, the unmistakable breath of the river. You follow the sound of distant creaks, wooden planks shifting under cargo, the faint call of a dock worker carried on the wind, and soon you find yourself standing before the old riverfront market. Though the hour is late, it seems to exist in a dream where time is fluid, and the stalls glow as though twilight never ends. Lanterns swing gently above the rows, casting circles of warm light onto barrels and crates. You walk between the stalls, breathing in the mingling fragrances, citrus from baskets of oranges, spices sharp and sweet, freshly caught fish laid out on beds of ice, and the faint, earthy scent of burlap sacks, piled high with coffee beans. Voices drift softly, traders calling out in accents old and varied, the rise and fall of languages interwoven into a lullaby of commerce. None of them call directly to you. They are echoes, whispers from another age, layered into the wood and stone, repeating endlessly in dream. You pause at a fruit stand, where polished apples glisten like rubies. You lean closer, and the sweetness fills your breath, a crisp scent of orchards far beyond the city, carried here to this night market of memory. A little further you pass a spice cellar. The air thickens with cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove, each fragrance swirling into the next, warm and soothing, wrapping around you like a shawl. For a moment you close your eyes, and the scent alone seems to carry you inward, slowing your breath, softening your thoughts. Beyond the market stalls, you hear the steady lap of the river. You walk toward it, and find yourself upon the wooden planks of the pier. The boards creak softly beneath your feet, and the smell of the river rises strong and clean, cool water. Tar from ropes, and faint traces of smoke drifting from distant steamships. The river itself is dark, but it shimmers with reflected lantern light, golden ripples stretching into the distance. Yoon on the railing, feeling the cool iron beneath your hands, and watch as the water carries its secrets downstream into the night. For a long moment you stand here, the air brushing softly against your face, the sound of the river moving, but steady and calm, like the breath of the city itself. And as you listen, your own breathing falls into rhythm, slower, quieter, until each inhale feels like the drawing in of starlight, and each exhale like the release of time itself. When, at last, you turn from the river, the market behind you fades into silence. You walk once more through narrow streets, until the sound of music begins to reach your ears. It grows gradually, first the low hum of strings, then the swell of a piano, and then, faintly, the chorus of voices. You follow the sound, and the street opens wide before the glowing facade of a grand theatre. Its marquee glimmers in golden light, letters curling in ornate script, promising spectacles of music and drama. Gas lamps line the entrance, their flames bowing gently in the breeze, and the steps leading upward are polished smooth from countless footsteps across the years. You climb the steps slowly, your body light, your pace unhurried. Each step seems to deepen the music within you, until by the time you reach the great doors, your whole being is attuned to the rhythm of the theater's glow. The doors open silently, and you step into a hall bathed in velvet and gold. The scent of polished wood and candle wax drifts in the air, mingling with the faint perfume of flowers pinned to evening coats and gowns. You move through the lobby, your hand brushing the smooth banister as you ascend to the balcony. When you step inside, the theater opens before you, rows upon rows of plush red seats, a stage framed by heavy curtains, and above, a chandelier sparkling like a cluster of captured stars. You sit quietly in the balcony, the music wrapping around you. The orchestra plays, soft strings weaving through the air, the piano echoing like raindrops on glass. The melody is gentle, unfolding slowly, a lullaby drawn from memory, meant only for you. And as you sit, the city beyond the walls fades into shadow. There is only the theater, only the glow of golden light, only the music moving steadily, carrying you further and further inward into the dream. The music in the grand theater fades, its last notes lingering like mist in the air. You rise slowly from your seat, your body light, your steps unhurried. The velvet curtains close behind you as you wander out through the ornate halls, down the wide staircase, and once more into the cool night of old New York. The street feels quieter now, as though the city itself has paused to rest. The lamps still glow, but their flames are softer, flickering low, like candles burning at the edge of sleep. You walk until you find a narrow iron gate, half hidden between two brick buildings. It creaks gently as you push it open, and beyond, a hidden garden awaits. The air here is different, cooler, stiller, filled with a scent of damp earth and lilacs. Stone pathways wind between clusters of ivy, their leaves glistening with beads of night dew. Small lanterns hang from hooks along the path, their light dim, casting gentle halos across beds of roses and wild herbs. You step inside, your feet fall quietly on the moss-soft stones, and you feel as though you've entered a secret pocket of the city, a place meant for rest, for silence, for dreams that the sounds of the city fade to whispers. Here, you hear only the faint chorus of crickets, the rustle of branches swaying lightly in the night air. A fountain trickles in the garden's center, its song soft and steady, like water threading through silver. You pause beside it, the cool mist brushing your skin. The water reflects the lamplight, tiny stars shimmering in its surface, mirroring the great stars above. For a long while, you simply stand here, watching the water move, breathing slowly, letting each inhale draw you deeper into stillness, and each exhale release another layer of thought. At the far edge of the garden, a narrow staircase of iron rises upward. Its steps are worn, but steady beneath your feet. Peruse ascend, each step carrying you higher, as though climbing not just in space, but in time. Rising into the quiet heart of the dream. At the top, you step out onto a rooftop. The city opens before you, rows of rooftops stretching endlessly, chimneys and turrets outlined against the night sky. Gaslight glows faintly below, lanterns twinkling like fallen constellations scattered across the streets. The air is cool and crisp, filled with the faint scent of soot and stone. A gentle breeze brushes your face, and with it comes a sense of lightness, as though here, above the streets, the city is breathing with you, slow, steady, calm. You walk across the rooftop, your footsteps soundless, your body buoyant. The tar and brick beneath you feel solid, but in the dream they also feel soft, like clouds beneath your feet. From here you can see the great river glimmering in the distance, its silver path winding out toward the sea. You can see the glow of other theaters, their music drifting faintly into the night. And you can see the quiet rooftops, one after another, like stepping stones laid out in shadow and light. You pause at the edge, resting your hand upon the cool stone ledge. The city stretches endlessly, a quilt of memories sewn together, each block a different fabric of sound and scent. each corner holding a secret waiting to be found. Above you, the sky is wide and velvet dark, its stars more vivid from here, freed from the haze of the lamps below. One star, in particular, glows brighter than the rest, its light steady, gentle, as though it is watching over you. You take a deep breath in, feeling the starlight fill your chest. And as you exhale, a deep calm settles over you, a calm that is not fleeting, but lingering, woven into the rhythm of your being. From rooftop to rooftop, you wander slowly, each step carrying you further into quiet wonder. Some rooftops are lined with gardens, pots of ivy and herbs, tiny blossoms swaying in the breeze. Others hold old benches where forgotten dreamers once sat beneath the stars. And still others are simply open, wide and bare, offering the clean expanse of night sky. At last, you come upon a rooftop where an old telescope stands. Its brass body glimmers faintly in the moonlight, its lens pointed upward, as though waiting for you. You step close, resting your hand gently on its frame. The metal is cool, but comforting beneath your touch. You lean forward, peering through the lens, and the night sky bursts into brilliance. Stars you could not see with your eyes alone now shine with clarity, each one etched against the black, each one alive with quiet fire. You breathe slowly, and as you do, you feel yourself expand into the sky, as though part of you belongs not only to the city, but to the vastness above it. You linger here, your breath soft, your body light, your mind wide and calm. The telescope lowers slowly, but the stars remain within you, their glow folded gently into your dream. And when at last you turn from the telescope, the rooftop feels even quieter, as though the city itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to take the next step on this long, unhurried journey through old New York. From the rooftop, you descend once more into the winding streets. The iron staircase curls downward, your hand gliding softly along the cool railing. Each step measured unhurried, as though time itself has slowed its pace for you. At the bottom, a wide avenue stretches ahead. It is lined with tall, stately buildings, their facades adorned with columns and stone lions, their windows glowing with the faintest amber light. And at the center of the avenue, you see it, a great library, its doors tall and carved with intricate patterns, its steps broad and smooth, as though worn by generations of dreamers who came before you. You move toward it, your footsteps soft, the quiet of the avenue wrapping around you like a heavy, comforting blanket. The doors stand open, inviting, and as you step inside, a hush falls over you, a hush so deep it feels like stepping into the breath between heartbeats. The library is vast. Its ceiling rises high above, painted with murals of constellations, and sees a sky within a sky. Marble floors gleam faintly, reflecting the golden glow of chandeliers, their light softened to a dreamlike shimmer. Rows of shelves stretch endlessly, dark wood polished smooth, lined with books of every size and color. Some are bound in cracked leather, others in deep blues and reds, their spines stamped with faded gold. You walk slowly between them, your fingertips trailing along the edges, feeling the quiet thrum of history, of memory, of voices waiting within. The scent of old paper fills the air, a fragrance both warm and ancient, like the mingling of dust and sunlight, ink and wood. It is soothing, wrapping around you, drawing you deeper into calm. You pause at a shelf. One book catches your eye, its cover dark green, its edges gilded faintly. You lift it gently, its weight comforting in your hands. As you open it, the pages whisper, and though the words blur before your eyes, the sound alone is enough, a soft, steady rhythm, like the turning of waves upon the shore. Asterisk. You close the book slowly and return it to its place. Here, in this library, you realize it is not the stories themselves that matter, but the presence of them, the endless possibilities. The comfort of knowing every tale ever told rests quietly at your fingertips. You wander deeper, and the shelves open into a reading hall. Long wooden tables stretch across the room, their surfaces polished smooth, their edges worn soft by countless hands. Tall lamps glow warmly upon them, their green glass shades casting gentle pools of light. A few figures sit at the tables, dream shadows, faces softened by time. They turn pages slowly, their movements hushed, their presence calm. None look up, yet you feel their quiet companionship, as though you, too, belong in this place of silence. You choose a table near the center. The chair creaks faintly as you settle into it, the wood firm but comforting beneath you. In front of you lies an open book, its pages waiting. You lower your gaze, and though you cannot read the words, the simple act of looking upon them fills you with a sense of stillness, as if the meaning is not in the lines themselves, but in the space between them. The lamps hum softly, the air is still. Your breath falls into rhythm with the silence, slow, steady, a tide that carries you deeper, further inward, where thought dissolves into calm. In time, you rise again. The hall fades behind you as you wander into smaller rooms, hidden alcoves tucked into the corners of the library. Here you find reading nooks with velvet chairs, windows curtained with heavy drapes, and shelves filled with journals bound in ribbon. The air grows warmer, the scent of parchment richer, as though the very walls are breathing stories into the dream. You pause by one of the windows, the drapes half open. Through the glass you glimpse the city outside, its lamps glowing faintly, its rooftops hushed. It looks distant now, as though you have stepped not just into another place, but into another layer of time, another depth of memory. You close the drapes softly, and the library embraces you again, its silence deep, its endless shelves stretching far beyond sight. Here, you realize, you could wander forever through aisles of knowledge, through halls of imagination, through chambers of forgotten dreams. And the thought brings not restlessness, but peace, because in this dream There is no need to hurry, no need to finish, only to drift, to linger, to be carried deeper and deeper into the quiet heart of old New York. You leave the great library behind, its tall doors closing softly, as though sealing away its endless shelves of memory. The steps carry you back to the avenue, and the cool night air greets you again, filled with the faint scent of coal smoke and the whisper of leaves brushing along the street. Waiting before you at the curb is a horse-drawn carriage, its lanterns glowing like golden eyes in the night. The horse exhales a plume of white mist, its ears flicking gently, its stance patient, as though it has been waiting only for you. The driver, a shadowed figure, tips his hat without a word and gestures toward the open carriage door. You step inside, settling into the cushioned seat, the leather cool but soft beneath your hands. The door closes with a quiet click, and in the next breath the carriage begins to move. The wheels creak steadily on the cobblestones, a slow, hypnotic rhythm, each turn rocking your body gently, as though the city itself is cradling you. The horse's hooves fall in a perfect cadence, clop, 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 steady and unhurried, a lullaby in sound. You lean back, your gaze drifting to the window. The city passes slowly, lantern-lit streets unfurling like scenes from a dream. First, you see the broad avenues, lined with tall buildings whose windows glow faintly. Shadows of figures move inside, families gathered by firelight, musicians practicing soft melodies, children drifting into sleep. Their lives move in silence, unreachable, yet comforting to witness, like distant stars in the night sky. The carriage turns down a narrower street. Here, the lamps are fewer, the shadows deeper, the world quieter still. A cat darts across the road, its eyes flashing briefly in the lamplight before vanishing into the dark. You smile softly, watching as the city reveals its small, tender details, each one a note in the lullaby of the night. The air grows cooler as you pass beneath an archway, and the faint scent of water returns, the river again, its presence steady, its flow eternal. The carriage slows as it crosses a wooden bridge, the boards groaning gently beneath its weight. Below, the river glimmers, reflecting lanterns like a string of floating stars. You breathe deeply, drawing in the cool scent of the water, and release it slowly, as though your own breath is moving in rhythm with the current below. The carriage climbs a gentle hill. The sound of the hooves deepens, their echo resonant upon the stone. At the top, the city spreads before you once more, rooftops stretching into shadow, chimneys outlined against the night sky, the faint glow of theater. Lights in the distance. The horse slows, and the carriage drifts along the crest of the hill, giving you time to gaze upon the city. It feels dreamlike now, less like a place of streets and stone, and more like a memory itself, softened by distance, bathed in golden haze. The driver turns the carriage down another street, lined with gas lamps that bow in the breeze. Each flame flickers as you pass, as though nodding farewell, guiding you deeper into the dream. The rocking of the carriage, the rhythm of the wheels, the steady beat of the hooves, all of it weaves together, carrying you further inward. Your body grows heavier, your breath slower, your thoughts dissolving like mist trailing behind the carriage. At last the horse slows once more, and the carriage comes to a gentle stop before a quiet square. You step down, your feet meeting the cobblestones softly, and when you look up, you find yourself before a garden gate once again, half lit by lantern light, half hidden in shadow. The driver tips his hat, the horse exhales a final plume of mist, and without a word, the carriage turns away, rolling back into the night, its sound fading until only silence remains. You stand alone in the square, bathed in calm, the dream city waiting, ready to carry you further still into its endless, hushed embrace. You stand in the square, the hush of old New York wrapping around you like a gentle cloak. The garden gate before you gleams faintly, its iron scrollwork patterned with vines and stars, as though it was crafted not just by hands, but by memory itself. You reach for the latch. It is cool beneath your fingers, smooth with age, and as it clicks open, the sound is soft, like a whisper inviting you inward. The garden beyond is bathed in silver light. Lanterns hang from branches, their flames swaying gently, casting pools of gold upon the pathways. The air is sweet with a scent of roses and jasmine, their fragrance drifting lazily, as if time has slowed to let the perfume linger. You step inside. The cobblestones here are narrower, their edges softened by moss. A fountain murmurs at the center, its trickle steady, a song of water that seems to echo your own breathing. The garden is alive with small sounds, the soft chirp of crickets, the rustle of leaves swaying overhead, the distant creak of a shutter opening and closing in, the night breeze. Each sound folds into the next, blending into a single, tender rhythm that carries you further inward. At the far end of the garden, you find a narrow archway of brick. Vines climb across it, woven with tiny blossoms that glimmer faintly, as if touched by starlight. You step beneath the arch and enter a courtyard. Here, the air feels warmer, glowing with the scent of candles. Dozens of them burn in iron sconces along the walls, their flames steady, casting long shadows across the cobbled floor. The walls are tall and old, their bricks darkened by time, yet softened by ivy that climbs in spirals as though weaving. Pick the city itself into something alive. In the center of the courtyard, a single tree stands. Its trunk is wide and gnarled, its branches spreading like open arms. Lanterns dangle from its limbs, their light shimmering through the leaves, casting gentle patterns upon the ground. You walk slowly to the tree and rest your hand against its bark. It is cool, rough to the touch, yet beneath it you feel a subtle hum, as though the tree is breathing, as though it remembers every season that has passed through this city, every dream that has wandered beneath its shade. Around the base of the tree are benches, carved of stone, smoothed by countless nights of rest. You choose one, settling into its solid comfort. The stone holds a trace of the day's warmth, radiating gently into your body, a quiet anchor drawing you deeper, deeper. Still, above you, the sky is visible through the opening of the courtyard. The stars shine brightly, their light softened by the flicker of candles. The two lights, starfire and flame, seem to speak to one another, their glow weaving a tapestry that wraps around you in stillness. You breathe slowly, your chest rising, bile and falling in rhythm with the fountain's murmur, with the sway of branches, with the endless patience of the night. Every inhale draws the fragrance of jasmine deeper within. Every exhale releases the last fragments of thought, until only calm remains. From beyond the courtyard walls, you hear faint echoes, the hush of a distant carriage, the laughter of voices carried on the wind, the low toll of a clock somewhere in the city. But here, within these walls, all is softened, all is slowed, all is safe. Time passes strangely. It might be moments, it might be hours. The candles burn steadily, the fountain sings without pause, and the city beyond seems to fall further away, like a dream dissolving into deeper layers of itself. At last, you rise from the bench. The tree glimmers above you, its lanterns swaying faintly as though in farewell. You step quietly back toward the archway, back into the garden of roses and jasmine. The path winds softly beneath your feet. Follow it until the gate appears again, its iron patterns glowing faintly in the lantern light. Before you step through and close it behind you with a gentle click, the sound like the closing of a chapter. The square is hushed once more. The city waits, ready to guide you onward, further still, toward the next hidden layer of its endless, nostalgic dream. The square behind you grows quiet, its iron gate fading into shadow. You step once more into the streets of old New York, and notice how the air has changed. A soft fog has rolled in, veiling the lamps in halos of gold. The cobblestones glisten beneath the mist, as though the city itself is shimmering, half awake, half asleep. Your footsteps sound different here, muted, softened, as if cushioned by the fog. Every sound feels hushed, as though the world has pulled a blanket of silence over itself for the night. The lamps flicker faintly, their glow dissolving into the mist. From somewhere far off, you hear the faint whistle of a steamship on the river. Its call low and distant, a song to the fog, to the water, to the night. You walk slowly, breathing in the damp air. It smells faintly of rain-soaked stone, iron, and the lingering sweetness of coal smoke. Each breath feels heavier, slower, as though the fog itself is guiding you inward, drawing you deeper into calm. As you wander, you notice a small glow ahead. At first it is faint, a golden shimmer tucked within the grey. But as you near, the shape becomes clear. A cafe, its windows glowing with warm light, its door painted a deep, welcoming red. You step closer. Through the glass you see soft lanterns, iron shadows moving gently inside. The door opens with the faintest creak, and the air changes immediately. Inside, the cafe is hushed and golden. Wooden tables sit close together, their surfaces polished smooth, their edges worn soft by countless hands. The smell of roasted coffee beans wraps around you, immediately warm. Rich, carrying hints of chocolate and spice, you move deeper into the room. Candles burn upon the tables, their flames steady, casting pools of gentle light. In the corner, a small trio plays music, a piano, a violin, and a bass. Their song is slow and tender, a melody of long notes that stretch and fold, poof, into the air like silk. You find a seat near the window. The chair is wooden but soft from years of use, its back curving gently to cradle you. You rest your hands on the table, feeling the faint warmth of the candle beside you, its glow shimmering across your skin. A porcelain cup waits there, steam rising faintly from its surface. You lift it gently and inhale the fragrance coffee, rich and dark with the faintest swirl of cinnamon. You sip slowly, and the taste blooms upon your tongue, warm and comforting, the flavor of time itself distilled into a single moment. The music carries you further. The violin lingers on each note, its sound aching and tender, while the piano drops gentle chords like raindrops in a pool. The bass hums steadily beneath them, a heartbeat of sound that grounds the melody in calm. You close your eyes, and the cafe fades into sensations. The warmth of the candle, the fragrance of coffee, the hush of voices murmuring at distant tables, and above it all, the lull of the music carrying you as if on a slow current. When you open your eyes again, you notice details you had missed. Paintings hang on the walls, portraits of figures from another age, scenes of ships upon the harbor, sketches of the city in its earliest days. The frames are gilded, their edges worn, their presence timeless. At another table, an old clock ticks softly, its hands gliding across the face, measuring time not in minutes, but in breaths. Each tick feels slower than the last, as though the clock itself is falling into the rhythm of the dream. You sip again from the porcelain cup, and feel the warmth spread through your chest, down into your arms, your hands, your whole body. Every muscle softens, every thought dissolves, until only the gentle hum of stillness remains. The trio's music fades into a final note, a long sigh of sound that lingers in the golden air. The candle beside you flickers once and steadies again. You rise slowly from your chair, leaving the cup behind. The cafe welcomes you as you pass, each table glowing softly, each shadow bowing in farewell. The door opens once more, and you step back into the fog. The mist greets you like an old friend, soft and quiet, ready to carry you onward to the next chapter of the dream. The fog folds softly around you as you leave the cafe, its warm light fading into the mist, its music still, echoing faintly in your mind. Your footsteps return to the cobblestones, their sound muted, as though even the stones themselves have fallen into drowsy silence. The city feels emptier now, the streets wider, as if guiding you toward something greater, something waiting at the edge of dream. Ahead, You see a vast building emerging slowly through the fog. Its tall archways glow with golden light, its stone facade lined with statues and carvings that look both ancient and alive. The lamps outside burn steadily, casting halos upon the mist and above the entrance. A great clock ticks softly, its hands gliding slowly, as though measuring not time, but eternity. You step closer. The doors are immense, framed with glass and iron. They open without a sound, and you enter the grand station. The air inside is cool and still. Your footsteps echo upon marble floors, each sound drifting upward into the vastness of the hall. The ceiling arches high above you, a dome of glass and ironwork. Through its panes, you glimpse the stars outside, shining with clarity, as though the night sky itself has been invited into the station beneath the domes. The hall stretches wide and endless. Rows of benches line the floor, though most are empty, their wood polished smooth by years of travelers. A few figures sit scattered in silence, their faces softened by shadow, their forms unmoving, as though waiting for trains that may never arrive. The great board of departures stands nearby. Its letters shuffle and click, naming places you know, and places you have never heard of, distant towns, forgotten ports, cities that might exist only in dream. Each destination flickers briefly, then fades into another, an endless cycle, a map of possibilities without end. You move slowly through the hall, your hand brushing the smooth surface of a wooden bench. The scent of the station fills the air, iron and oil, faint traces of smoke, the lingering perfume of countless journeys. It is a scent both grounding and infinite, anchoring you here, while also inviting you to drift into the thought of faraway places. Asterisk at the edge of the hall, you see a row of ticket counters. Their brass railings glimmer softly in the golden light. Behind the glass, no one stirs. The tickets rest in neat stacks, waiting untouched. You realize then that no ticket is needed here. This is a station not of departure, but of dreaming. You follow the sound of a low whistle. It hums faintly, steady and distant, drawing you further inward. Through another archway you step onto a platform. The air here is cooler, smelling faintly of steam and rain. Lanterns line the edges, their light glowing through the mist that drifts along the tracks. The platform stretches wide, but it is hushed, its silence broken only by the occasional drip of water falling from the iron beams above Dot. Then you see it, a great train waiting. Its body is deep black, its brass fittings polished to a soft glow. The windows gleam with warm light, and within them you glimpse velvet seats, lamps glowing softly, curtains swaying with unseen motion. Steam curls gently from its engine, drifting upward like a sigh. The whistle hums again, low and steady, not a call to hurry, but an invitation to rest. You step closer. The conductor, a shadowed figure, nods once as you approach, and opens the door with a gentle sweep. You climb the steps, your hand brushing the cool iron rail, and step into the carriage. Inside, the world softens. The seats are plush, their velvet deep and inviting. The air is warm, carrying the faint fragrance of polished wood and leather. Lamps glow at intervals along the walls, casting gentle halos that sway as though already in motion. You choose a seat by the window. The cushion embraces you as you settle, your body sinking into its softness. Bound side, the mist drifts across the platform, lanterns glowing faintly within it, like fireflies floating in the dark. The train hums beneath you, a low, steady vibration, soothing like the heartbeat of some great, patient creature. The wheels begin to turn, slow at first, then steady, a rhythm that lulls you further inward. Through the window, the station drifts away. The arches fade into mist, the lanterns dissolve into shadow, and soon there is only the soft blur of night passing by. The sound of the train carries you deeper, the steady clatter of wheels upon the tracks, the hiss of steam, the low hum of the whistle. Each sound folds into the next, a lullaby of motion, a rhythm older than memory. You lean your head against the glass, feeling its cool surface, watching the blur of lights dissolve into darkness. The world beyond the window is formless. Now, a dream within a dream, carrying you not toward any single place, but toward the endless horizon of imagination. The train moves on, its rhythm constant, its song unbroken. And as you breathe in time with it, you feel yourself surrender, drifting further, deeper, into the timeless embrace of the journey. The train rocks gently, its rhythm steady, like a cradle moving slowly back and forth. The sound of the wheels upon the tracks becomes a pulse, a heartbeat of motion that carries you further inward, further away. You gaze out through the window. At first, the city still lingers, lantern-lit, streets flickering past, the faint outlines of rooftops, the glow of bridges arched across the river. But the longer you watch, the softer they become, as though the fog has risen to swallow them into memory. Soon the city dissolves entirely, and beyond the glass stretches a vastness you cannot name. Fields roll out beneath the stars, silver with their grasses bending and swaying, though no wind can be felt. The train glides through them like a ship upon a still ocean. The lamps within the carriage cast warm halos on the glass, reflecting your own calm face back to you, softened by dream light in the distance. You see the shimmer of water, a great river winding endlessly, its surface glowing with moonlight. The train follows its curve, the sound of the wheels echoing the river's current, a rhythm within a rhythm, carrying you deeper. The river widens into a bay, where phantom ships rest in silence. Tall masts rise like skeletal fingers, their sails translucent, their hulls glowing faintly, as though they are carved from memory itself. No voices call, no ropes creak, only stillness, a harbor frozen in time. The train passes quietly, whistle low, a sigh that seems to bow in respect to the ghosts of the ships, to the dream of the sea. Beyond the bay, the land rises again. You see hills dotted with lanterns, not real flames, but lights that float in the air, drifting gently, like stars that have fallen to rest close to the earth. They hover among old farmhouses, their windows glowing faintly. Through them you glimpse shadowed figures moving slowly, families of another age, gathered around fires, their laughter hushed, their lives folded neatly into the dream. The train moves on, and the houses fade. In their place, the land becomes softer still, a forest of tall, bare trees, their branches reaching upward like arms. The lamps of the train cast fleeting shadows among them, and for a moment you feel as though the trees themselves are leaning closer, listening to the song of the wheels, to the hum of the engine, to the quiet rhythm of your own breath. Through the forest, the stars appear more brightly, their glow undimmed by lamps or lanterns. You look upward, and the ceiling of the carriage seems almost transparent, as though the whole train is gliding not upon rails, but upon starlight itself. The whistle hums again, low, steady, a sound that feels less like a call and more like a lullaby. It vibrates through the walls of the carriage, through the seat beneath you, through your very chest, until you are one with its resonance, a note in the endless music of the night. You lean your head once more against the window. Your eyes grow heavier, not with weariness, but with softness, a gentle surrender to the rhythm of the journey. The fields, the rivers, the forests, all drift past, becoming fainter, more dreamlike, as though the train is carrying you beyond the edge of place, beyond the edge of time, into a realm where only stillness exists. And as you breathe, you realize the journey is not outward, but inward, into the quiet corners of memory, into the soft glow of imagination, into the timeless calm that has been waiting for you all along. The train glides on, its wheels turning steady, its whistle sighing low, carrying you deeper and deeper into the phantom landscapes of the dream. The train glides steadily through the phantom night, its rhythm constant, a lullaby of wheels and rails. Then, almost imperceptibly, the pace begins to change. The motion slows gently, as though the dream itself is guiding you toward something new. The whistle sighs low, its note long and tender, like a breath released at the end of a thought. The lights within the carriage glow softer, their halos dimming as the train eases to a calm stillness. Through the window, you see a station unlike any you have known. It is small, yet vast in feeling. Its roof is open to the sky, a canopy of stars spilling their light directly upon the platform. The pillars that frame it are carved from dark stone, yet vines curl upward around them, their leaves glimmering as though touched with dew. Lanterns hang in neat rows, their flames steady, though no smoke drifts from them. They glow not with oil or fire, but with starlight itself, captured and contained, casting a silver warmth across the ground. The train sighs as it settles. The door opens softly, inviting you to step out. You rise from the velvet seat, your body light, your breath steady, and with slow steps, you cross the threshold. The platform beneath your feet feels smooth as polished marble, yet warm as though Bid remembers the footsteps of dreamers who have walked it before you. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of pine and earth, the freshness of a forest blended with the faint trace of coal smoke lingering from the city. You pause, breathing deeply, and as you exhale, you feel the transition from New York's remembered streets to something more ethereal, a world balanced between memory and dream. Around the platform, you see fragments of both. To one side, a lamppost from the old avenues stands tall, its glass glowing with a golden flame. To the other, a tree rises, its branches vast, its leaves shimmering silver as though they hold moonlight within them. A fountain rests nearby, its basin carved with lions and shells, a relic of the city. Yet the water that flows through it is not clear but luminous, shining faintly with starlight, spilling into the air like liquid memory. Figures move along the platform, but they are soft, half shadow, half light. They drift as though woven from mist, carrying suitcases, stepping into carriages, or simply waiting in silence. You cannot see their faces, but their presence is calming. Their quiet movements, a reminder that you are not alone. A clock hangs above the platform. Its face glows softly, its hands moving not forward, but in slow circles, measuring not hours, but moments, the endless now of dream. You wander further, your footsteps light, your body attuned to the hush of the place. Every detail feels balanced. Part New York, part wilderness, part memory, part imagination. It is as though the city you once knew has melted into something timeless, a sanctuary woven from every layer of its being. You pause beside the fountain, resting your hand on the cool stone. The luminous water trickles steadily, its sound soft, band musical. You watch as droplets fall, each one scattering light like a tiny star reborn. By your breath matches its rhythm, in and out, slow and gentle, until you, too, feel like part of the fountain's song. Beyond the station, a path stretches outward, lined with lanterns glowing with starlight. It leads into a forest that seems both familiar and new. The trees sway faintly, their branches whispering in voices you cannot quite hear, yet understand. The train behind you remains waiting, its lamps glowing patiently, its whistle silent. But you know this journey does not require you to return. The station itself invites you forward into the forest, into the unknown dream. You take one last breath of the starlit air, feeling it cool and pure within your chest. And with a slow exhale, you step from the platform onto the lantern path, into the hush of the waiting forest, into the next fold of the dream. The lantern path stretches ahead of you, its glow steady, casting circles of silver light upon the ground. Each lantern sways faintly, though no wind can be felt, as if the air itself is alive with breath, guiding you onward. The forest embraces you almost at once. Tall trees rise on either side, their trunks dark and ancient, their branches laced together above, woven like the rafters of a cathedral. Through the canopy, the stars shimmer, their light falling like dust, gathering in soft pools along the path. The air is cool, carrying the scent of pine and earth, mingled with something faintly sweet, the memory of lilacs, the ghost of chestnuts, roasted, as though the city lingers here in whispers. You walk slowly, your footsteps quiet, absorbed by moss and fallen leaves. The sound of the forest is gentle, the rustle of branches, the chirp of night birds, the low hum of unseen crickets. Together, they weave a rhythm as steady and calming as the wheels of the train. A rhythm that folds around you like a blanket of sound as you wander deeper. You notice fragments of old New York woven into the forest itself. Asterisk to your left, an iron lamppost rises among the roots, its glass glowing faintly, its base wrapped in ivy. The flame inside does not flicker with fire, but with starlight, captured an eternal dot further along. You see the outline of a brick archway. It leads to nowhere, standing alone among the trees. Yet when you step beneath it, you feel the hush of courtyards, the memory of cobblestone squares, and the warmth of voices long faded. You continue, and the forest deepens. Shadows sway gently among the trunks, figures soft and formless, like dream echoes of the city's past. They drift quietly, their murmurs hushed, their presence neither near nor far, but woven into the forest. Like threads of memory dot ahead, you find a small clearing. At its center stands a fountain, its shape familiar, the lions, the shells, the carvings of stone. But here, in the forest, the water glows with moonlight, spilling softly into a basin lined with moss. You pause beside it, watching the luminous trickle. The sound is steady, like the breath of the earth itself, a song without beginning or end. You close your eyes, and the sound fills you, washing through your chest, slowing your heartbeat, deepening your calm. When you open your eyes again, the clearing has changed. Benches line its edges, carved of wood, their surfaces worn smooth. You realize they are the same benches that once lined the parks of old New York, carried here into the dream. They wait in silence, as though ready for wanderers to rest and remember. You sit for a while, the bench firm beneath you, the forest breathing all around. Your body feels lighter, your mind softer, your thoughts drifting like leaves upon a stream not far off. A sound rises, the faint toll of a clock tower. Its chime deep and resonant. It does not belong to this forest, and yet it does, for it is the memory of the city, woven here into the night. The chimes fade, and silence returns, a silence even deeper than before. It is not emptiness, but fullness, a silence rich with presence, with possibility, with peace. When you rise again, you follow the lantern path onward. The forest thickens, yet it feels softer, as though every step is carrying you not away from the city, but deeper into its essence, into the place where memory, nature, and dream become one. The path curves gently, leading you toward a glow. Ahead, a place where the lanterns end and the forest opens into starlight. And as you near, You feel the final layer of the dream beginning to unfold, drawing you into its embrace. The lantern path curves one final time, and the trees fall away, their branches parting like curtains to reveal a vast open space. Before you stretches a meadow, endless and silver, its grasses bending gently as though stirred by the slow breath of the night. The air here is clearer, cooler, filled with the scent of wildflowers and dewdrop. Above, the sky is vast and unbroken. The stars shine brighter than ever before, millions of them scattered across the velvet dark. So close it feels you could reach up and gather them in your hands. The remnants of old New York linger faintly here. A lamppost stands alone in the field, its glass glowing softly, not with flame, but with starlight. Beside it rests a stone bench, its surface cool, its edges smoothed by countless nights of dreaming. You step into the meadow. The grass whispers beneath your feet, each blade brushing gently, soft against your skin. The sound is subtle, like silk sliding across stone, a rhythm of its own, carrying you deeper into stillness. At the meadow's center, a small pond mirrors the sky. Its surface is perfectly still, a circle of glass reflecting every star, doubling the heavens so that above and below is only infinity. You walk to its edge and sit upon the grass. The earth is soft beneath you, the air cool upon your face. You gaze into the pond and feel yourself gazing into eternity. The stars ripple faintly in the water, though no wind stirs it. It is as though the pond itself is alive with memory, alive with dream. You see in its depths fragments of old New York, the glow of a theater, the flicker of a cafe lantern, the outline of a carriage moving slowly down a street. Each image drifts across the water, then fades, dissolving back into starlight. You realize then that the city has not disappeared, but has become part of the sky, woven into memory, eternal, always waiting for those who wish to dream it alive. Again you lie back upon the grass, your body sinking into its softness. The earth cradles you, the stars stretch endlessly above, and your breath slows, matching the rhythm of the meadow's quiet heart. Every inhale draws in starlight, cool and pure. Every exhale releases the last remnants of thought, until only calm remains. The meadow hums with stillness. The pond glimmers beside you. The stars hold you in their patient embrace. Here, time no longer matters. Here, the journey is both ending and beginning. Here, you are free to linger, to drift, to dissolve into the night. You lie upon the meadow, the cool grass supporting you, the pond shimmering nearby and above you. The vast sky stretches endlessly, woven with stars. The longer you gaze upward, the softer everything becomes. The stars no longer feel far away, but near, as though they are drifting gently downward, resting upon your skin, folding themselves into your breath. Each star is a memory, a moment, a story waiting quietly. You feel them gathering within you, the glow of lanterns on cobblestones, the hush of a hidden courtyard, the music of a cafe in the fog, the rhythm of the midnight train, all of them drifting, all of them dissolving, until they are no longer separate but one, a single, endless calm. The air is cool, the grass soft, the sky infinite. Your body feels lighter now, as though you are not lying upon the earth, but floating just above it, suspended in the embrace of the night. The pond beside you ripples faintly, though no wind stirs it. Its reflection stretches outward, merging with the stars above, so that there is no longer water, no longer sky, only one vast expanse of light. You breathe deeply, your chest rising and falling in time with the glow of the stars. Inhale, and you draw the starlight in. Exhale, and you release everything else, every weight, every thought, until there is nothing left to hold, nothing left to do. The dream is no longer a place you walk through, but a space you float within. You are not in old New York, not in forest or meadow, but in the boundless expanse of imagination itself. The city has folded into memory, its lanterns glowing softly somewhere beyond the veil. The meadow has dissolved into starlight, its grasses becoming threads of night. And you remain calm, drifting, resting in the eternal rhythm of breath and quiet. Here there is no hurry, here there is no end, only the invitation to linger, as long as you wish, to let your mind wander as slowly, as gently, as endlessly as the stars themselves. And so you drift through silence, through starlight, through the vast, timeless calm. Let go, and let the dream continue carrying you onward, carrying you inward into the open sky of your own imagination.